All right, gentlemen. We got football today. We got some big moves. Big moves have been made today and yesterday. Was Myles Garrett yesterday? That was yesterday, right? Most of
Yesterday.
this was yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because AJ Brown was already at practice today for the Patriots.
Yeah. Seems like he's a very happy man.
Very heavy man.
Very happy.
Very happy. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that OC and what was his name again? Can't remember.
For the Patriots?
No, for Eagles. He was not happy there.
I don't remember. Who is their offensive coordinator?
Sean Manahan right now. Is that they fired the last guy? Is that you can tell I'm really been yeah, they fired the guy. Who was the guy last year then? Because he was the one that was fucking terrible. Um you know what? It doesn't matter. AJ Brown's happy. Um who do we want to talk about first, man?
We can start with the big one, Myles Garrett, right?
Yeah, no, that's a big one. And it's really interesting because everyone was so mad that the Rams drafted Ty Simpson when the Rams knew that they needed help on defense. Well, what did the Rams do? They went and got the best defensive player in the league. So,
They did that.
Rams fans, are you guys happy? Like, I'd be happy. I don't know.
They traded for McDuffie on the Chiefs earlier this offseason. Their defense can be very improved. I mean, and how much you've seen, but Aaron Darnold might be, or Aaron Darnold?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Donald
Donald.
is talking about coming back, which would be the scariest defensive line probably in NFL history at that point in
so,
time. Um,
so yeah, dude, that's so. I mean, it's crazy because like, what did the Rams need? Right? They needed the next franchise quarterback. They needed They needed help in the secondary, and they needed someone for the defensive line. Well, they went and got
Nailed it.
McDuffie for the secondary. They went and got the best edge rusher or pass rusher in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and got their next franchise quarterback. So, I they nailed it. Yeah, like you said.
They, I think they probably had the best offseason of anybody. That's
No,
fair
and
to
it's
say.
it's funny because 2 weeks like Monday. Wait, what's today? Tuesday, Sunday. Right, we're sitting here and we're like, yeah, Raiders had the best offseason, whatever. You can, mixed feelings about Ty Simpson, with the Rams, whatever. And now I agree with you. Like, if you just look at like a team's needs versus what they signed, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
obviously they didn't sign the most guys, but what does a team need, and how did they fill that hole?
Mm-hmm.
And they filled those holes like spot on. Like you can't ask for anything better than what they've done. So if I was a
Yeah,
Rams fan, I'd be pretty happy.
I, in my opinion, better team than Seattle as of right now. So
I
I think
think so
that's,
as well.
I think that's no debate. To be honest with you, Seattle's lost some good guys, and the Rams have got some good guys, and it was close last year. So
Yeah, I mean that game, looking back at it, I think we could all agree. I mean, Seattle did what they needed to do to win that game, but it could have gone either way. I
I
mean,
think
those
that,
the last two matchups between them,
yeah,
right? I mean, 30, 60 plus points scored in those games, absolute battle. I mean, absolute cinema on our end watching it.
I think Seattle losing their best running back, and the Rams proving their defense that much. I don't see Seattle putting up that many points again, though. I
No,
just
and I
don't.
mean, right now I'm sitting here and I think the Rams are my Super Bowl favorite going into next year.
Yeah,
Like if someone was to tell me to put money on it right now, I gotta take the Rams. I got Broncos Rams next year.
it'd be a cinema Super Bowl.
That would be an awesome Super Bowl, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, can you imagine Aaron Donald coming back? Because it's like it's a very real possibility. in
Yeah,
my
how long
opinion.
has he how
Oh,
long
it's been
ago
a
did
couple
he
years
Yeah,
for
how long ago
sure.
did he retire?
3 years, but he
Yeah.
retired so young that
Right.
he could easily still be playing. But I mean, you're a quarterback playing against these guys. You look at one side, there's Donald on one side, and there's Garrett on the other, and you're like, dude,
I mean, they're probably the two best defensive linemen of our generation. I mean, I don't know who I'd put ahead of either of them.
yeah, they're both.
I mean,
I mean,
Max Crosby is up there, but I don't know. I'm not putting him ahead of Myles Garrett or Aaron Donald.
no, I mean, if you're talking all along the defensive line, you could talk about Watt,
Yeah,
maybe Vaughn, but I guess you would probably say he's more of the last generation with the Watts. I would say is probably more of the past. I
yeah. I
mean, they
mean,
were
but
both
just
playing
still
before.
thinking about. I mean, just think about like the last 20 years.
I put Vaughn
Miles
in the top
Miles
five.
Garrett.
That
Yeah.
dude was an animal in his
No,
prime.
I would too, but I mean, like,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I guess you could put
I
him
mean,
ahead of one of them, but I don't think
uh,
you can.
he'd probably be number three for me because I mean
Yeah.
these two guys are just they can't be stopped. Like
Yeah. No, it's gonna be terrifying if that happens. If Aaron still has it, um, but even if he even if he doesn't, dude, it's just seeing that jersey, seeing that guy in front of you is intimidating at the least.
and he wouldn't
The
have to be the
presence
number
on
one
the field is
guy.
enough. Yeah.
He's not have to be the number one guy anymore because
No.
and I mean call me crazy, but you bring Donald back, Garrett over there might break his own sack record
hmm
because I mean who are you going to double team?
No, that's a great
I
point. I mean, you,
I
you you still you still have to double team Myles Garrett, I think, and just bank on the fact that Aaron Donald hasn't been on a field in a while, and I don't know how old he is right now, but let's see, he's 35. I mean that'd be tough.
I mean he'd be healthy though. That
Yeah,
much mileage on his body, like that's a young 35. You know what I mean? So
right.
I don't know. At the end of the day, Rams are coming to Denver for Sunday Night Football.
He's only been out of the league for 2 years.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be
Yeah,
fine. He was the
yeah.
best
That
in the
could
league
that
when
could
he
get
was.
interesting really fast.
Yeah, they come to Denver for Sunday Night Football. I'm probably gonna go because that's cinema right there.
That's
That is
electric, dude. That
two
really
great
is.
defenses. I mean, you could argue two of the best. I think Houston's is up there, but I mean,
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what Houston does this year because obviously, it's the same defense.
can
Just
they do it
so
again?
I'm so worried about that offense. Still, I'm not. I like CJ Shroud. It's just that playoff performance is really concerning. Kind of seeing what he did under pressure there.
Yeah.
And obviously he's dealt with some injuries, and but he really hit the league. I mean, he was really good when he first came into the league, and it's just not seeing it anymore. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because like I said, I like CJ Shroud, but
Yeah.
um,
Um, so what's your opinions on the AJ Brown to New England?
I mean, Patriots got their wide receiver one. I think AJ Brown's gonna be a happy camper. I mean, it'll be interesting to see because I can't look. I get the offensive coordinator was terrible in Philadelphia. I
Yeah.
get that, and obviously watching that offense last year, it just didn't look right. That offense was never in sync, right? Saquon Barkley didn't have a great, good year, but not great year.
Yeah.
Not from what we typically see him do. Just a lot of stuff just not working on that offense. So it's like I get the frustration from AJ Brown. I still don't love how he handled it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it really does make me question. It's like he's gonna be in a better situation, but it's like, is there just gonna be another problem? You
Well,
know,
and
because
here's
if you're a cancer in the locker room, that doesn't change just because you go to a different team.
yeah, and here's my thing. I think New England's going to take a step back this year, if I'm being honest. I
Hmm.
think they won a lot of games on this. You know how I was talking about their soft schedule last year. Their schedule this year is way harder.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I don't think they're going to win as many games this year.
I don't either.
I know you're not a big Buffalo guy, but I could see Buffalo winning that division again this year. To be honest with you, I don't think New England. I think New England's going to be one of
What
those
makes you think I'm not
teams.
a big Buffalo guy?
Well, I remember talking about how you just thought Josh Allen was never gonna like this last year was probably his last real chance to win it. He's just
Oh,
never been able to.
I
He's
didn't say
never been
that.
able to
Okay,
win.
hey. I said the Bills need to act very, very quickly, and they need to figure some things out very quickly because they don't have that many years left with Josh Allen.
So what do you
I
think?
like,
You think they
I mean,
could win the
look,
division then?
yeah, I do. I still think that team. Didn't they get a wide receiver this year in the offseason? I thought they did.
Yeah, they got
Didn't
what's his name from the Bears?
oh,
Uh,
not Rome.
no,
It's hard. I've been so focused on baseball lately.
DJ Moore.
That's right. So, because my thing with the Bills was always that they never had a true wide receiver one, right? They kind of played that like five receiver rotation, and it
Hmm.
felt like Josh Allen never had like a guy to go to consistently. Um, and I I don't know if DJ Moore is that guy. I don't. I like DJ Moore. But is he like a clear wide receiver one on that team? I don't know. Um, I don't know if he's that much better than some of the other guys. I mean, pull up that depth chart real quick because I'm
Okay, well, why we're talking about guys signing and free agents, how would you feel about Stephon Diggs going back there? Because that might be a good signing for them. He had a good year last year. I mean, I know he's had trouble off the field.
no,
That's a whole nother
he
thing, but
did. That'd be interesting. Um,
because if you have him on one side and more on the other, like that's not terrible. You could do a lot worse.
no, I mean that looks good. Um,
So you have a
because I
great
mean,
running back.
sorry, I just had to pull up the depth chart real quick just to remind myself here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I mean, you look at DJ Moore compared to Coleman and Shakir. I mean, because it was like, especially like as a a diehard fantasy manager, it's like Coleman and Shakir were always those guys on waivers where you're kind of because my league was pretty deep. So those are kind of the guys that you're always kind of floating around with, like, hey, is this a good guy off waivers this week? And it's like you never knew what you're gonna get out of those two guys. And it was like one week it felt like he stuck with Shakir more. One week it was a little bit more Coleman, and it's just like he never had that true guy. And look, maybe he can get that out of DJ Moore. Maybe. But to your point, I think Stephon Diggs on that team is probably a clear wide receiver one if he plays like he did last year.
Yeah, I think Moore will be better with a quarterback like Josh Allen, though. I Nothing against Caleb at all either. I'm not. That's not any shade towards him at all. I just think the way Josh Allen spreads the ball around, I think that's gonna be good for him. But I mean, I think getting somebody like Diggs in there would help him out a lot. I think that would be a big signing for them.
I mean, I don't know, because I mean, DJ Moore wasn't really the wide receiver one on that team. I mean, Romo Dunze was the wide receiver one in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know exactly who was listed where on the depth chart,
yeah, I have
but
no idea.
just from because I mean I watched pretty much every Bears game last year, and if it felt like Rome was the wide receiver one when he was healthy. Because I know he missed a few games there at the end, um,
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of the Bears, though, I mean, I think Burden's gonna be so good, and I think we're gonna see him pop off next year. I think DJ Moore actually is going to give him. I'm just gonna give him a lot more opportunities, and that's gonna get really interesting. But um, why is this? Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. That's why. Yeah, because with New England, man, I don't know because I totally forgot about this. Am I still here? I kind of glitched for a second.
Hmm.
Totally forgot about this. Romeo Dobbs is in New England now. And
Yeah, but I think he's.
I'm a huge fan of Romeo Dobbs. I'm a huge fan of him.
I I think he's all right. I don't think he's. I don't know. Not like I totally hate him. I'm not saying that. I just don't think
I
he's.
I don't know. I see where you're coming from with New England because I was
Yeah.
right there with you last year, okay? I
Mhm.
thought that New England wasn't quite as good as what everybody thought, okay? I was with you on the fact that they played a really soft schedule. I think AJ Brown and Romeo Dobbs is going to be a very underrated duo going into next year.
I think they definitely went out this offseason and said, "Listen, we got to surround our quarterback with a better
Cause
weapons," and they did that. That's fair. But I mean, look, their schedule's not easy this year. I don't.
no.
So they play. Let's see. They open the season in Seattle. That's a loss. Um,
Really?
yeah, they're not beating Seattle in Seattle week one. Absolutely not. Um, against the Steelers week two, that's probably a win, but I think the Steelers will win a couple more games than people think. Jacksonville and Buffalo back to back. I think both those are coin flips for them. Buffalo's winning at least one of
Well,
those
I don't think
games.
Jacksonville's gonna be. I mean, we've talked about this. I don't think
Yeah,
Jacksonville's gonna be as good next year.
yeah.
Unfortunately, because I was a huge fan of that team last year.
But then they got Packers, Lions. Probably lose both of those, in my opinion. Bears. I don't. I think Bears are the better team there. That's my opinion. Um, of course, I'm going to say this as a Broncos fan. We play them January 3rd. I think we're going to beat the brakes off of them. I can't stand New England just in general. But I mean, listen, I think overall New England did get better. But I think the reason they won so many games last year was because of that soft schedule.
I don't know. I'm gonna say it again. I think AJ Brown and Romeo Dobbs like offset each other really well. Okay.
Hmm.
Right. And Dobbs, I mean, his whole career. I mean, he's fast and he's the downfield threat, right? And AJ Brown's he's a strong big dude, right? You can get him, you're gonna hit him in the middle of the field more. You're gonna have him, more 10, 15-yard routes, or lower. And I think their playing styles are gonna match really well on the field. And like I
Yeah.
said, I'm a huge fan of Romeo Dobbs. Um,
Yeah.
you look at that Packers offense, and they're very similar to the Bills, where it never really felt like they have a true wide receiver one.
Hmm.
Um, sometimes, maybe it was, what was his name? Watson. Um, some days it felt like Dobbs, and it really just kind of depended on the game plan that week. But I look at this and it's like, it's going to be really clear where AJ Brown's going to get the bulk of the targets, right? Right. He's going to get 10 targets a game, right? Romeo Dobbs is going to get, 6 targets a game, downfield threat. Um, 10 plus for AJ Brown, I mean. And I also look at this, I'm like, Trivion Henderson's going to win the job
Oh yeah.
at running back.
Yeah.
And you can't forget Mac Hollins had some really good
Yeah.
games. Um, I don't know. I think they have more depth at wide receiver than they did last year.
Yeah, I mean, I am very excited to see those 2 together because I like your point of they kind of feed off each other really well. I do agree with that. Um, this is gonna be also a massive year for Drake May
It
because if
is.
he takes a step back, questions will be asked because this is the best offense he's been surrounded by, in my opinion, by a lot. Because he's also got the consistency going, like with the same offensive coordinator, same head coach, same. I mean, all the running backs are the same, right? I think, as far as I
Hmm.
remember.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, I've always liked Drake May. I think obviously rough game in the
I
Super
mean,
Bowl there, but I mean,
do you think he's gonna take a step back?
I just I just overall don't see them. In my opinion, definitely still a playoff team, no question about that. I'm not talking about that
Yeah.
big of a step back, but I wouldn't shock me come January. The Bills are the champs in that division, to be honest with you. And I think if New England has to go on the road in January, I don't know if they win a game, to be honest with you. I mean, depending on, I'm trying to think of who the playoff teams would be. I mean, it's kind of wide open this year, to be honest with you, but
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, I think, right now. Um,
it's hard to tell
you know,
this early.
I think the Chargers are a little bit of an unknown.
Hmm.
Um,
Chiefs are too, I think.
yeah, Chiefs are super. I have no idea what we're gonna get out of the Chiefs this year. Obviously Patrick Mahomes' health is gonna have a lot to do with it. Um, but the fact is, I mean, with Patrick Mahomes healthy last year, the Chiefs were not looking the same.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Chiefs didn't really. I mean, they got Walker. Don't. That's a big signing for them. But I mean, also, can he stay healthy? Because he's also had
Yeah,
problems in the past. But I mean, outside of that, they lost a ton of pieces on defense. They lost their two
yeah.
starting
No, they did.
corners. I mean, I know they
And
drafted
their
one.
defense was bad before they traded McDuffie.
Yeah. And so I'm like,
So
Kelsey's another year older.
yeah,
Their wide receiver room has never really awed me, like put me in awe. Like I don't.
yeah, and it's like tough because it's like obviously Rashid Rice he's really good. Um,
Yeah.
but he was already back in prison, so it's like
And also, I think people aren't thinking enough. Mahomes, I get it. Mahomes is a good quarterback. I hate admitting that. But coming off that injury, he's not going to be the same guy.
no, it's gonna be tough, and that's a guy that's based his whole career on his ability to move
Hmm.
and his ability to make plays out of absolute disasters in the pocket. I mean, you look at his entire highlight reel, it's all plays he makes when the pocket breaks down and he's under pressure. And, is he going to be able to do that this year? It is a fair question. And this isn't even coming from a guy that hates the Chiefs. Like, because,
Yeah.
like, look, I'm a Raiders fan. I don't like the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs, but I'm also a football fan. And Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks we've ever
Yeah.
seen. I mean,
Absolutely.
he's top 5, top 10 of all time,
Yeah.
right? Depending on who you ask. And as a football fan, I do wonder, is he going to be as mobile next year? A guy who's based his career on his ability to be incredibly acrobatic, right? Freaking throws while he's falling, right? Running for all these BS 15 yard, like, third and 15, and next thing you know, Patrick Mahomes has a first down, right? I mean, that's his play style. So it's like, what are we gonna see? That's all I'm wondering. And I'm not saying he's screwed. I'm not saying he's gonna be bad. I'm just saying it's going to be interesting to see him. It's interesting
Yeah.
to see what we
No,
get out of him.
I totally agree. I I'm I hate admitting this. I'm kind of looking forward to watching that team because I'm really interested to see how that goes. And I
Yeah.
think, in my opinion, it's kind of one of those no in betweens. Like they're gonna be either a playoff team or they're gonna be at probably honestly the bottom of the league. I think it's gonna be go really, really good for them, or I think it's going to go really, really bad. Like I don't.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't be surprised
Mhm.
if they're a playoff team again. I also wouldn't be surprised if they finish behind the Raiders this year
Mhm.
either. Like I think there is an equal chance that both of those things happen for them.
I hope
You
so for
know,
both
and
of
then
our
back to
sakes.
unknowns. I mean, like I said, we're kind of stuck on this division right now. We know the Broncos are, as of right now, like our favorite for that division. But I think we all know the Chargers have a ton of potential.
Yeah.
They drafted a uh drafted a defensive lineman. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Um, theoretically, they're gonna have a healthy offensive line because that was their issue, was their offensive line last year.
And
I
they got a
love
good
Herbert.
offensive coordinator. Very good
They have a
offensive
good
coordinator.
offensive coordinator, and their offensive line, when it's healthy, is a pretty good offensive line. I mean, Joe Alt's one of the best in the league. The issue is it wasn't healthy, so therefore is one of the worst in the league last year. But healthy, it's a whole nother story. So Chargers are going to be another team where it's like, okay, this offensive line stays healthy, and it's like the defense stays solid. I'm super excited for Amari and Hampton this year.
Hmm.
Super excited. I'm going to draft him again, just like I did last year. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get him in the fourth round like I did, but we're going to be shooting for him. Um, but and then the Raiders are another team where I think this is the first time in a long time we can sit here and say like they did the right things,
They're on the come up for sure. Yeah.
and I mean, are they going to go and win 8 or 10 games this year? Probably not. Like they've been bad for a long time, and they got a young quarterback to develop. A lot of young guys to develop, but that linebacker room's looking really good, and um, keep freaking forgetting the name of the guy that they got from the Bills. So it's like got a top 5 center in the league, right? For all we know, the Raiders are going to be good next year, right? Very well. You look at the guys we have, it could happen. Now, as a Raiders fan who's been very optimistic for a long time, I'm like, okay, look, it's probably just going to be the same shit we deal with every year, but it could happen. The other team I want to talk about, um, just to get away from this division, is the Phillies, the Eagles. Do you think that
Yeah.
team is going to be better next year? New offensive coordinator, got rid of their locker room cancer,
I think they're a
drafted,
lot like the Chiefs. I think you don't know until you. I mean, because the
yeah,
Chiefs have a new offense coordinator too. Like we
yep,
just, it's actually crazy how many new offense coordinators there are
yeah,
in the coming into this year. I mean,
hmm
I like the receiver they took. Definitely kind of a weird dude, but I think he's more than
yeah,
capable of starting day one as the receiver too. I think that's no issue.
yeah,
But um, big year for Jalen Hurts because
yeah. There's
if
a lot of questions about him last year for sure.
the questions are starting to come up, and I think another year like last year, and I think there's going to be some questions about him in Philadelphia because I know the Philly fans are not too pleased with him right now.
Yeah, and
And
I'm not ready to sit here and say Jalen Hurts is washed or that he's not the guy. I'm
yeah,
not ready to say that yet, but I'm definitely aware that there's some questions raised about him, and I'm definitely going to be, watching him a little bit more critiquedly. I don't know how I would put
with a little
that.
more critique. Yeah, yeah.
A little more interest. But this wide receiver room doesn't look bad,
Hmm.
actually.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen Devonta Smith in a true wide receiver one role. So we're gonna have to see what that looks like. Obviously we're gonna have to see how McKay Lemon is in the NFL. I mean, no doubt one of the best wide receivers in the draft, but it's still a transition, right? You still got to actually watch the guy play before you can say anything. And then can't forget, like they picked up Hollywood Brown. He's gonna be in that wide
Hmm.
receiver 3 role. Um, and or I guess wide receiver 4. But because they also got Dotavian Wicks. But I don't hate that wide receiver room at all for Philly, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for me to tell this early, but I mean, I think they'll be fine this year.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not. Yeah, I think the Eagles are still going to be a team to definitely still a playoff team in my opinion.
What do you think? I know we talked a little bit about the Myles Garrett trade.
Hmm.
What do you think about the Browns' return for that? Because I mean, I believe they got a first round pick for next year too. From what we've seen the last couple of years, they've been very good at drafting, in my opinion. And next year is probably the best draft class we've seen in a long time.
Hmm.
I don't want to hype up the Browns like that, but I mean, like, if they had a good draft this year and quarterback draft is heavy next year, you go get a good quarterback. I mean, the Browns could be doing the
Do
right
they
thing
really
here.
draft it? I mean, they drafted two quarterbacks last year or
True, and I think
last
that's
year.
the only bad pick was the Gabriel pick. I don't think I'm a big, I don't mind Sanders, but I mean, I think if you
Yeah.
look at they got a good running back, they got a couple of good defensive guys. They have Verse now from the Rams. I think they're going to probably win more games than people think. I don't know how the quarterback room is going to go, but they definitely need a different quarterback in my mind.
I mean, no. I mean, I still think. I mean, and this is coming from a Shador Sanders hater. I didn't think it was a first round pick, but I also still think that would they get him in the sixth round?
It was like fifth or sixth, yeah.
I I still think he was a steal for that late in the draft. Like I still, yes, I thought he was overhyped by a mile. And some of his antics, I'm concerned about just in the sense of like, okay, can this guy like really like lead an NFL team as a quarterback and be a face of a franchise and like, really gain the respect of his peers? Like, I don't know, right? He's cocky and he's rich and his ego is above the moon, right? And you can't really have that as a leader of a team. Um, I still think like you got to give this guy a shot though. Like I have no doubt he's gonna be the starting quarterback this year for the Browns.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
And
kind of where I'm going is if you look at their draft class last year, obviously you can debate those two quarterbacks, but outside of that, they had a pretty damn good draft.
yeah,
Probably one of
well,
my
they had a good draft
favorites from,
this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're kind of, I want to say, somewhat building something out there, hopefully.
Well, yeah, they're still in a hard rebuild.
Yeah. So next year, they have a couple first rounders now. I mean, they probably will have to get a quarterback. Let's be real here, especially in a good draft class of quarterbacks. I mean,
Right.
could you kind of see them surprising people in the next couple of years, do you think? Like, I mean, I obviously first reaction is okay, they're the Browns. But I mean, I have to give them credit where credit is due. Their drafts have been good. I don't know much about their GM, but
Yeah. I know. It's the only issue that I have with them is like, yeah, they draft good, but it's like franchise is still cursed. I mean, like, I just, I don't know. I struggle with the Browns. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'll be good at some point. Every team has their time, and maybe we are approaching that time. Um, but I got to see it. With them. I don't think I can sit here and predict like, yeah, just give this team 2 years and they're going to be good. I just don't know.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I love seeing teams that are historically bad be good. I mean, I freaking seeing the Lions, unfortunately they, haven't been able to win a Super Bowl yet, but seeing the Lions be a good team has been great. It's fun. It's good for the league.
yeah, yeah. No,
It's looking like the Raiders might have their time in a few years. So Chargers hopefully have their season pretty soon, I mean, they got to, with Justin Herbert. I mean, I think he's a top 5 quarterback in my opinion.
yeah,
But
they kind of have to here soon.
yeah.
But
But
yeah, it's gonna be a
yeah, I
good year.
mean,
I'm excited.
yeah.
Crazy trades, man.
Yeah. Because there's a few smaller teams. Where did you say? Where did Juju Smith Schuster go?
Juju Smith-Schuster and Odell Beckham went to the New York Giants.
Yeah,
I
so that could
mean,
be interesting as well. I mean,
yeah,
the team's still, I think, a little ways away from being a true playoff team, but and signing two old wide receivers. I mean, I don't know how much that changes.
great quarterback though. Great quarterback.
Great quarterback. Shout out Jackson Dart. Um, hoping for a great season from that guy next year. So,
Think he will.
with that said, we're past time. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for listening, because I know all you guys listen to the end. Hey, shout out if you're still here. All right, leave a comment. All right, and I will send you a can of Zins in the mail. All right. I live in California, so they're gonna have to be unflavored. But yep, promise is a promise.